Welcome to Talking Trim. I'm Jonathan Skinner, and today we are looking at the door panel casings for the Triumph TR4, TR4A, TR5 and TR250 models. What we've got here is various ones trimmed in vinyl. All of our door panels are cut on our CNC machine, in-house CNC, and they're all done using 2.55mm hardboard, which we specifically import for the exact purpose of these door panels. The thickness of it works beautifully in the cars. I'm not going to say they're easy to fit, but they're a hell of a lot easier if you're using the correct thickness of material. We've used the same material for going on 40 years now to very good effect, so just bear that in mind. Looking at the actual hardboard panel backings themselves, you can see it's got all of the correct fixing points on them. Again, they're not the easiest door panels in the world to fit to the car, so do refer to our blog handbook post. We supply a slightly different version of the fixing that helps with these bits and bobs. Of course, they do work with the original fixings as well. However, we do recommend you use our fixings for them. They're ever so slightly bigger and allow for greater resistance when slotted into the car. There's also a bit of a knack of the angles that you have to put on the fixings, and each of the slots effectively can go 360 degrees on each different fixing, which can make a hell of a difference when you're fitting them all to the car. So just bear that in mind, and obviously each car is individual, so do refer to our blog handbook posting for that, because it really does help. Looking at other fixings that we've got two pilot holes up here, i.e. guide holes up here for the chrome pull that was used on the TR4 models, just to refer to a book. They're these here, as you can see. Then you have two pilot holes here and here. The bigger one is relevant to the TR6 models, obviously completely irrelevant for this video, but also the TR5 and TR250, whereas the smaller one is relevant to the TR4 and 4A models. Again, they're pilot holes, so you want to be matching it up to your car, drilling out a bit more. You've got a bit of play with them, obviously, because the grommets casing that goes on the other side is quite wide. And again, just to refer to the book, we're talking about that there. So you have got a nice size, effectively the width of one of these welds to play with in there. Moving further down on the door panel, again, two pilot holes. Size is the exact same principle. TR4 and 4A is the smaller one, TR5, 250, and of course the TR6, relevant for this video, is the larger one. That is for the window winder. Top one is for the door release, if I didn't say that already. Then you have this pilot hole fixing here, which is for the coloured screw washer setup that goes through on the front of the pocket when attaching to the car. Moving on to the back edge here, this is where the pocket flap, elasticated pocket flap comes around, and that's where it slots through on the front there. So that's always a tricky area to trim into the car because you've got this extra thickness here. So these fixing holes are crucial to get them right, because that really does help line it up. So again, refer to our blog handbook posting and contact us if you need any further assistance. Moving on to the face of the panel, they're all HF welded as per original spec. We're one of the only companies in the world that have the correct HF welding tools for all the Triumph TR models. Other companies out there stitch them. We can stitch them if you prefer, but really don't recommend it. HF welding was original and it looks absolutely beautiful. So the TR4, 4A, 5 and 250, and then the very early TR6s uses this 4-line pattern, whereas the later and more commonly seen TR6s used a 2-line pattern. They all featured the elasticated HF welded door pockets, so great for fitting a map or a smartphone in. They're all piped around the outside. Originally, all of the TR4, 4A, 5 and 250 models used white piping, whereas the later TR6s went to self-coloured piping to match the main trim. However, it should be noted that we have got records that indicate that perhaps quite a few TR250s left with self-coloured piping. Either way, see our website. We can offer both, or we can completely contrast it if you prefer, so bear that in mind. We can also offer these panels in leather, including the HF weld pattern. One of the only companies in the world that can offer that. And to dispel myths out there on the internet, you can get leather door panels to fit your car. Sure, it's a bit more work and a bit harder to do, but they look absolutely gorgeous, and we have supplied hundreds of leather kits over the years. My father has a leather kit in his TR5, They look absolutely gorgeous, so don't get put off by what you read online. That's a common saying, don't believe everything you read. So we can offer them in leather, so just bear that in mind. And what we've got here, just to show you some of the colours, we've got Shadow Blue, which was originally used on a lot of the sort of TR4, 4A models and some of the TR5s. So then Midnight Blue tended to be more for the TR4, 4As. You can see the shade difference there. So Shadow Blue is quite a light blue in comparison if I go over the top, whereas Midnight Blue is a very true blue, very bluey blue. The Midnight Blue was used on the early marks of TRs as well, so sort of TR2s up to 3Bs, crossed over a little bit into the TR sort of 4, 4A era, but then seemingly replaced by Shadow Blue, which then stayed on for the TR6 era as well. You've also got Biscuit Light Tan at the top here, again a very popular colour in this era of car. Like I say, always white piped originally, apart from maybe the TR250s. Originally piping was plastic, which we commonly offer for mass-produced kits if you're not doing them with seats. If you're buying seats at the same time, we recommend we switch the plastic piping out for leather cloth, as that is preferred for the seats, then everything matches in. It's worth noting as well, plastic piping is only available in white or in black, so if it is another colour like Biscuit Light Tan or these blues that you wanted to match up, we revert to the leather cloth piping where available. On very few colours where there isn't leather cloth or plastic available, we would revert to vinyl, but we really don't like to do that where we can avoid it. There's no real issue with vinyl, it's just leather cloth does look nicer. Vinyl's a bit bigger, but for certain colours we have to resort to vinyl. It's worth noting a lot of other firms out there standardly use vinyl for their piping regardless, because they don't want to invest in the extra cost of having leather cloth piping as well, which we don't think is as good. So it's better in mind. I think that's about it. See our website for more details. Of course, click subscribe, like and share with other classic car enthusiasts out there. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.